Hey everyone, it's Carly Hall and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's tutorial will be heavily focused on using Cricut's design space, and I'm going to walk you through how to take a project that's meant to be cut on the Cricut Joy and cut it with your Cricut Explore or Maker machine. So if you are a Cricut fan, you know that they released the Cricut Joy, and one of the biggest selling features was that you could easily cut these cards and assemble them without any type of adhesive or glue. They're super adorable, but one of the pain points is that you can only cut these if you have a Cricut Joy. So right now my machine mode is toggled onto Cricut Joy, and then I'm in the category cards. If I was on Cricut Maker, I won't even see these because my machine can't cut them. So the reason that I'm looking at these is because I want to see the design so I can replicate them and make it using my Cricut Explore machine or my Cricut Maker machine. So I'm just going to pick any one of these cards, and I'm going to show you how easily you can replicate it and cut it on your either Explore machine or Maker. So let's pick one that is pretty generic. All right, this one's perfect. I love you more than ice cream. So I'm going to take a screenshot so that we can replicate this perfectly and we know what we are working towards. So I happen to know that you can also find this project in Design Space if you're on the Maker or Explore machine. So if I search ice cream, a similar card will pop up. So here's this card, but you'll notice that when I click on this, there are no insert tabs. So it looks like this card was designed to either glue something behind it. So we can start with this card as the base, or I can show you where to find the images. So keep that in mind that you can always search to see if that card already exists. But since we are going to build it from scratch, I'm going to hop over to the canvas. So I have a blank canvas here, and we're going to start in images. When you land on the image page, it should look like this. This recently was refreshed by Cricut, so it looks a little bit different than what we're used to. But that's okay, it's a lot easier to navigate. So over on the highlighted categories, we're going to go to image sets. What used to be known as cartridges are now called image sets. And image sets are exactly that. They're sets of images. So they're similar images that are all put together into a collection so that it makes it really easy for us to find what we're looking for. So I happen to know that if you search quick cut, all of these adorable cards come up. And if you scroll through them, you can get lost because there are so many cute ones. And one of the highlighted ones by Alexis Maddox is the I Love You More Than Ice Cream card. So we already are at an advantage. We can find the image super easily. But if you don't know or you don't see the card, you can come into any of these image sets, scroll through, and find the cards. And these ones already have the corners for your inserts already designed in, so you can just drop them in and cut them with your Explore or Maker. For the one that we will be doing, let's click into here and scroll down until we find our image. And now we have our I Love You More Than Ice Cream right here. We're going to click on that and then insert into our canvas. I'm going to ungroup this so that we can put the envelope off to the side, and then we'll look at our card. So this is almost perfect. It just doesn't have those photo corners. So all we have to do, come back over to images, and if we search in the image sets, if you do corners, you'll see that there are cards that already have the corners designed or just the corners. So I'm just going to use the corners since we just need to add a little slice so that our card pops out. So I'm just going to do these straight cuts and insert those in and then resize them to fit my card. So we're just going to slide those to make them big enough to fit our card. And again, you can make this however you see fit. So it does not need to be exactly what I'm doing or even exactly the same as what our example looked like. So all we're going to do is center those vertically just so that they're in the right place. And then I have a couple of options. I can slice these out of my cut. So all I have to do is ungroup or detach rather, these are attached together. So I can detach that, and then my cut, I'm going to drag that on top of my other one and select my cut right here and my I love you more than ice cream. So all I did was I held down the shift key and I clicked on this layer, and while holding the shift key, I selected this layer, and now I can slice them apart. So when I slice them apart, it actually took a slice out of my card. So I'm going to back that up so they're back together. And then I'm just going to delete out the extras. So I don't need those extra cuts. And then I'm going to arrange this and send it to the back. And you can see that my insert card, I'm just going to move that out of the way for a second. I have my drawing layer, and then I also have this score line. And for Cricut to know that I want these all to stay together, I need to attach them together. If I don't attach them, let me click Make It. You'll see that the score line and the draw will go on its own mat, which is not what I want. I want them to go on this mat. So I'm going to cancel out of there, and then I'm going to attach those all back together. So I have my score line, my draw line, and my cut line, and I'm going to attach those together. So now when I click Make It, they're all on the same mat, and then my insert card and my envelope are also on a different mat. So then I can put this background here. I want to make sure that my insert card is big enough to fit in there, and it can be just a little bit smaller than the corners because I want it to have a little bit of wiggle room, so that fits perfectly, and I'm good to go. So if I want to resize this to make it bigger, because this is a 3.72 card, and I think my card that I originally looked at was a little bit bigger. So when you resize it, you want to make sure to resize your envelope too. So I'm just going to drag those at the same time so the proportions are the same. So I'm just going to select everything and drag it a little bit bigger. Let's make it a 5-inch card. So now my card is almost 5 inches. And when I fold it in half, it'll be just over 3.5 inches. So that's a little bit better. And then I just want to make sure that my envelope still fits in the dimensions of 11.5 by 11.5, since that's how big my paper is. Okay, so almost at 5 inches, but there you go. That's how you will design all the cards. And like I said, this one was already pretty much made up for us. We just had to add those insert corners, but it was an easy addition. If I wanted to look at the other cards, you can find all those image sets under Quick Cut. And these ones are actually, for the most part, already done for you. They already have those corners. So if I click on these graduation cards, all I have to do is bring them in and they're ready to go for you. They already have everything in there. If I wanted to ungroup this to show you what it looks like. I don't think you can actually see those corners. Let me change this color so that we can see the photo corners. There you go. So you can see that the corners are already cut out for you. You literally just have to load your paper on and then cut it. The Cricut will do all of the hard work for you. So super easy. Let me just go over those image sets one last time. So if you go to Images, and you're going to land on a page that looks like this, choose Image Sets, and then search for Quick Cut. And that will bring you to all of these cards that will work with your Maker and Explore machines. They are not just limited to the Cricut Joy. So instead of using the card mat, you'll just use a full sheet of paper and you'll cut the full project. So again, you'll just load a piece of paper on. The Cricut will cut this and then score it, and you're good to go. And the same thing for the envelope. So I hope that helps. I know that I was a little bit sad when I didn't see the images, and now that they're all loaded in Design Space, I'm super excited that not only can Joy users cut these with their card mat, but Cricut Explore users and Maker users can also cut them from start to finish. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Or if you need more help, check out my Facebook group, Cricut Crafts with Carly Hall. You can post your questions in there, and the entire group loves to help. So we are always answering questions and want to get you all sorted out. All right. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.